Okay, today I'm here at Caroline's Cookies, and I just had a cookie, and it was amazing. But this is Caroline Merriman.
Hi, Kate. Thanks for having me on. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. In my opinion, the 80s is the best decade for music.
Okay.
How would you describe your job using an 80s song title?
Okay, so I have to be honest, I had to look up 80s songs, okay, to answer the question. But I've come to the conclusion that I think the song of my choice for the 80s to describe my work would be Don't Stop Believin'. Because that's what it's taken to get where I am. I had to trust the process. But I'll have to admit, I did have to look up which songs are from the 80s.
How did you decide to become a cookie shop owner?
So that I've always been into baking ever since I was little. I would prop up my iPad and video myself baking because I watched YouTubers who baked. So that's kind of where I learned. My mom didn't know how to bake. She liked to eat the cookies, but she didn't know how to make them. So I learned everything from YouTube, watching other bakers. And when I had just graduated high school, I was baking all the time. And my brother was like, well, why don't we make a logo for this in a business? So it kind of just happened by accident because I turned my hobby into my career.
So y'all came up with this?
Yes, so my brother created this logo, and it was just for fun. I didn't even think I was going to start a real business, and we just kept the same logo ever since then. I would do orders once a week because I was in college. So I started baking 300 cookies a week, and then 400 cookies a week, and then 500. And then eventually my mom was like, you're taking over my kitchen. So I decided to drop out of college and open the business. And that's how this got started.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience.
How do you come up with your cookie flavors, and what makes them addicting?
That's a good question. Definitely a lot of butter and sugar. That helps. But whenever I'm like, for example, I'm trying to come up with our flavors for March right now. Go down the aisles of Walmart. Couldn't think of anything because I've come up with 75 flavors already. So there's, now we're kind of getting on the other side. Got to get a little more detailed. But what I have is a ton of recipe books. So for cakes or cupcakes or cookies or brownies. So last night I went through those books and gathered some inspiration, and then I'll go from there. It's just a lot of taste testing, which is really fun. So I'll make a cookie and then tweak it, and make another cookie and tweak it. But I just love sugar and desserts, and I'm a creative person. So put those two together, and that's how you make good cookies.
So last night, did you end up coming up with one?
So one of the ideas that I have is going to be coffee, caramel, and Oreo, that combination. And then the other one that I'm looking at is like a dulce de leche, which is like caramel and cheesecake and brownie. So I would have never thought to pair all that together if it wasn't for inspiration from other recipe books.
If you had to live in the swamp for 1 year,
okay,
and you could only bring 3 cookies.
Okay, so if I had to live in the swamp for 1 year.
3 types of cookies. You can bring as many as you want.
Okay. If I had to live in the swamp for a year and I had to bring 3 flavors with me, I would bring cookies and cream because it's just like solid choice. You can eat it every single day. And then I would bring, this is a hard one, ooey gooey because it doesn't have chocolate. So one of them has chocolate and one of them doesn't have chocolate. And then lastly, maybe cinnamon roll because I could have it for breakfast. Those are the 3 I would bring.
Okay. I would bring animal cracker.
Okay.
I would bring cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll.
Because I could have it for breakfast. And I would bring the ooey gooey.
Yum. We'd have a lot in common then.
What is the funniest or most surprising thing that has ever happened to you as a business owner?
There's definitely a lot of funny things that happen all the time. A lot of times we go to turn on the mixer when we're making frosting and powdered sugar just explodes everywhere and it makes a ginormous mess. That's always entertaining because then somebody's got to clean that up.
And Caroline's cleaning.
Yes, we've dropped like a 25-pound bag of sprinkles everywhere. That was also entertaining.
I noticed that most of the people who work here are pretty young, about your age. So is it hard to be the boss of people that are close to your age?
I think it's so much fun, first of all, to work with people alongside me that are the same age because we can relate to each other. But I think I'm in a unique opportunity where I'm able to be a better manager for them because I can relate to them so much. So I know what's going on in their lives and I can understand. And so we're able to kind of have a mutual respect. And I think it's actually been way easier than I thought. But I also would attribute that to really great employees who avoid drama and who are super respectful and friendly and they show up on time. So as far as I'm concerned, it's been a really good experience. But I guess the older I get, I'll probably continue to hire college age girls. So I guess we'll see how that goes in the future. But for now, it's been very fun because I've made so many friends through work.
So a question that is not actually on here, but how do you hire? What are the questions that you ask them?
So I definitely don't have a professional hiring process. I should probably have a better one than I do. But when I do interviews, I'm just trying to have like a natural conversation and get to know the person. But you want to ask for references. So if they have a past job experience, to get to know how they were in a past employer from them, and then get to know their availability and where they're from and how they heard about us. But I really just try to get to know that person and then let them know what to expect from the job because I want to make sure they're not coming into a job blindsided. So I tell them there's going to be a lot of cleaning. I tell them it's fast paced, there's a lot of teamwork, and try to give them an idea to make sure that this is what they want too. But
in December, I did miss out on some fun things because I was working in New Orleans, which is honestly better. Do you have any advice for balancing work and fun in your life?
That's a really good question. One of my goals for 2025, because New Year's resolutions, is to have a better work-life balance. I would say I'm trying to think of the best way to word what I've been doing is making time for myself and just stepping away from work and remembering what fulfills me and what fills my cup. So whether that be going on a run or reading a book or just taking a nice hot bath, but just remembering to take a step back and that learning how to like enjoy your downtime. That would be my biggest tip. And just learning how to relax and not having to always be go, 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 because that's what I naturally want to do. But it's really important to prioritize a work life balance. That way you don't get burnout.
You've just opened this beautiful new shop in the Bocage area. What made you decide to open a second location in Baton Rouge?
That's a really good question. Thank you. I'm super excited about how the location turned out. I think it's so cute. So what happened was I thought I was done after I had 2 locations. I was really comfortable and I felt like it was manageable to have two because I'm from Lafayette and it's not too far of a drive. Well, the owner of this building reached out to me and he said that the lady who had a bakery here previously had some health issues and so she was trying to get out of the lease and he was trying to find someone to fill the space. And my first thought was like, no way I need 2 locations in Baton Rouge. But then I was like, never turn something down. Just why don't you go take a look and just see what they have to offer? Because my business partner had told me, why don't you just check it out? You don't have to commit to it. We'll just see. And so I came toward the space and I kind of had a vision come to life. And I feel like I had this gut feeling inside and I just trusted that gut feeling and that's where that started. But I knew how bad Baton Rouge's traffic was. And so I was like, that could be a deal breaker for people to decide if they're on this side of town, then they're going to get cookies. They might not want to drive all the way to Perkins Row with the traffic that we have.
I was honestly about to guess that too many people were flooding the other location.
That's a good point too. This also gave an opportunity for us to kind of spread out our customer base. That way it didn't overwhelm the staff at Perkins Road because you can only make so many cookies from the space there because our kitchen gets full and our refrigerators literally fill up with dough. So this gave us an opportunity to better reach this side of town. And we're also going to start renting out the space for birthday parties and small gatherings or book clubs. So that's something that I've been super, super excited about because
this space?
Yeah, because birthday parties for me as a kid were a huge deal. I thought about my birthday party all year long, literally. So I'm excited to have a space for kids to come and do birthday parties here and decorate cookie cakes and design aprons and things of that sort.
Thank you for watching Investigate with Kate. Please check out Caroline's cookies. If you don't, you're going to live a sad, hard life. You don't know what you're missing.
Thank you for having me, Kate. I had fun.
Thank you for coming. Well, it's your own store, but thank you for allowing this to happen.
Absolutely. It was so nice to meet you and talk to you.